Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Mocha Jules, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you are one of my returning babes, hey beautiful. So today's video, we are underpainting. Y'all, this is a technique that I just started doing as of recently, and I'm like, let me show you beauties how I underpaint. It's not rocket science, honestly, but it is something to have in the back of your head, especially if you're in a rush like me, or who's a sleepy girl who would like to get in their nap before they go out. Yeah, underpainting is something that you would definitely feel like comes in handy. So if you want to see how we underpaint and how I get this full look all by underpainting, go ahead and stay tuned, and I hope to see you at the end of this video. All right, beautiful. So we're back. I'm so excited. And as you can see by the title of this video, today we're going to be underpainting, and I'm going to show you guys how I underpaint. If you don't know what underpainting is, I'm going to explain to you in a second. So this is a technique that I've been trying as of lately, especially when I'm in a rush, because your girl love to take a nap before going out, and when I do that, I lose time and then I have to rush. So when I have to rush, then I have to do a quick beat. So I noticed that to get like a beat that I love, underpainting gets the job done. It gets it done. So what underpainting is basically you're doing your contour, concealer, your cream liquid blush before you apply your foundation. And it gives you like this nice natural finish. And you can also glam it up too, but it does still give that skin-like finish. And you use less products doing underpainting, in my opinion. I've seen Jackie Aina do this technique. I've seen different beauty creators do this technique, and their face always look beautiful. So today we're going to be doing underpainting, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Honestly, from what I've been seeing, I don't think there's like a specific order that you do it or anything, but I'm going to show you how I specifically do it and how I've learned to do it. And I feel like if you're a beginner, this definitely will come in handy for you as well. Yeah, let's get started, because I don't want this to be a long video. Also, you know, I'm back like I never left. I need to stop taking these long breaks from YouTube, but y'all. But anyways, so let's get started. So what I'm gonna first do, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera, and then I'm gonna come right back. I know y'all may not like, you know, the eyebrows off camera business, but if you want me to start doing my eyebrows on camera, let me know, and then I'll start doing it. And I do that only because I don't want to waste the time of recording and stuff, because eyebrow does take a little bit of time and it's kind of tedious, and I don't know how to do my eyebrows after I do my face. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and then I'm gonna come back, and then we're gonna start this underpainting technique that we've been doing lately. So give me a second. All right, we're back. Eyebrows took a little bit of time. I think I like them. They're doable. So now we're moving on. I did zoom in a bit so that you babes can see me. So now, before we do everything, before we start, of course, we're gonna have to do skincare. I'm not gonna do a full skincare, but I am gonna moisturize my skin to hydrate it. And you always wanna moisturize your skin or do a skincare before applying your makeup, because it gives it that natural glow, it hydrates your skin, and it doesn't make the makeup look patchy. I just feel like skincare is so important, and I'm gonna say that till I can't say it no more. So today's hydration, we are going to use Dermalogica Skin Smoothing Cream. If you know, you know, this is one of my faves, my top #1 favorite skin moisturizer. So I'm just gonna use a little bit. And also too, I'm not doing the whole shebang, because after I take this makeup off, I am definitely doing my full skincare before I go to bed. So I don't want to, you know, do all that and stuff. So a little does go a long way with this moisturizer. I'm just going to apply it all over my face. As you can see the difference of how my skin is like extra moisturized now. So as we let the moisturizer sink in, we're gonna go ahead and start with our eyes. I'm not gonna do nothing major, because again, I'm pretending like, you know, I'm going out, I'm rushing, I don't have that much time, and I gotta underpaint. So eyeshadow, that's cut crease, all that extra stuff, out the picture. Just get you like 1 to 2 shades, and just, or like one neutral shade, and just do your eyes, girl, because we don't have time, right? So today's eyeshadow palette, we're going to be using the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette, which looks like this. I think I've used this eyeshadow palette before on this channel. You know, we have the browns, the black, the gray, the nudes, all that such. So I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to be using these two colors right here to give it that brown eyeshadow look. But first, before we start, I am going to go ahead and conceal my lids, and then I'm going to set it, and then I'm going to move on to the eyeshadow. All right, so today's concealer, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 70 and N. This is what I usually use to highlight my makeup, but we're going to use it for the eyes because we want that brown to pop when I apply it on my lids. So we're going to go ahead and apply the concealer on our lids per usual, same steps that I usually do, but if you're new here, I would definitely walk you through it. So just apply it, let it sit for a little bit, and while I wait for this to sit just a bit, I'm going to prepare my powder. So I get my brush and I'm going to get my powder. So the brush that we're going to be using to blend this all out is the Morphe concealer brush and the number M132, which looks like this. And this is what I'm going to be using also to blend out my concealer when I apply it on my T-zones. And the powder that we're going to use to set this concealer is going to be my Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade medium deep, which looks like this. This is a value size. I feel like I might want to get the, not value size, it's the mini. I feel like I need to get the value size though, but I'm still thinking about it because literally this mini lasts me a long time. So now that we've allowed it to sit just a little bit, you know, to give it that coverage that we're looking for, I'm gonna go ahead and blend it out. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and set it with the powder. I'm trying not to look up because I'm not trying to create any creases. And I'm gonna take a napkin to, you know, wipe it away just a bit because we're gonna go in with powder. So I'm gonna take my powder, take some, and then pat the excess out, and then just blend it all in. Even on my brows, my brow bone. I should have timed this so that I can show y'all like literally how beneficial underpainting can be, especially when you're in a rush. But we can definitely do this again. We're doing a look and then underpaint, and I can show y'all exactly how long it takes. All right, so we got our lids set. I know we're looking crazy because what's that? But it's okay. We'll fix it as we apply our makeup. So I'm gonna wipe this away because we're gonna go back in with some liquid again using this. All right, so now with the palette, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with Jamada, which is this right here, on my creases, and then I'm gonna go in with, what's this, Kafuru on my lids. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply Kafuru first on my lids, and then I'm gonna blend out my creases with Jamada after. So I'm going in with a fluffy brush that looks like this. This has no specific name, but I will link everything down below for you babes to see exactly what brushes I'm using. But this brush is just basically a fluffy brush where I'm just going to be packing on Kafuru, which is the brown shade, on my lids. And then to blend out my the Jamada on my creases, I'm gonna go in with my Sephora number 19 Pro Crease brush, which looks like this. All right, so like I said, it's nothing special. It's something quick. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, cat. You could even take your bronzer and just use it as an eyeshadow, but I just, you know, wanted just to do something extra. And I love when I, you know, do this thing right here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply eyeliner. You see how quick we're going? But before we apply our liner, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my skin, only because when I prime my skin, it's going to dry down, because my liner, it is kind of tedious too. So I'm gonna prime my skin because you know you want to speed up the process. For the primer, we are going to use my fade, my current fade, which is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and this is in the shade Juice Boost. And I love this primer so much because of how it makes my makeup glow and how my products literally sticks to it. Like, it doesn't get patchy, it doesn't, like, every single one of my products like literally been so well with this primer. As you can see, you see how glow, like literally the name Glow Serum, like you can already see the glow. So now as it gets tacky, we're gonna go ahead and do our liner. For my liner, I'm gonna use my e.l.f. Expert Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Jet Black, which looks like this. All right, so now that our primer is tacky, we got our liner on, we got our eyes, eyebrows, primer, right? Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the underpainting, which is contour, liquid or cream blush, and concealer slash highlight. Well, concealer and highlight. All right, so first I'm gonna start off with contour. Usually if I apply my foundation, I always start off with contour anyways, because when it comes to contour, you're basically shaping out your face, and wherever you want, you know, it to look snatched and stuff, yeah, that's where the contour is gonna go. So contours usually go on your jawline, cheekbones, or forehead. I don't do it on my jawline. Usually, you know, people do it on their jawline to basically give it that shadow, and, you know, especially like people like me who have double chin. But honestly, when it comes to taking pictures, it's all about the angles for me. So I don't do like the whole contour of the jawline stuff. I usually just do my cheekbones, and then when I'm bronzing, I usually bronze my forehead and stuff. Or I probably take the whatever's left over on the brush, I just go ahead and put it on my forehead. But I usually focus on my cheekbones because I have pretty high cheekbones and I like it to look defined also when I have my makeup on. And then placement wise, it really depends on the shape of your face. So usually I would start like right here to apply my, and as you can see, I have that natural line right here. So that is where I'm going to place my contour. Now, if I want to place it a little bit higher, I can, but I don't usually do that. I just usually, you know, just what's the word I'm looking for? I usually just not exaggerate, but define what I already do have. Liquid contour that I'll be using today is my Rare Beauty liquid contour in the shade Peaceful, which looks like this. If I'm not mistaken, this is the deepest shade. So I am going to apply it All right, so before I blend it out, I am gonna go ahead and apply my concealer. So the concealer that I'll be using today, and the reason why I'm applying my concealer right now is just to allow it to give it time to dry down. So the concealer I'll be using today is my Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer in the shade 90NN, which looks like this. And when it comes to concealer, I like to go 1 to 2 shades lighter than my foundation. And oh, I was gonna go straight in with the applicator, but no. Again, when it comes to underpainting, less is really good. And even makeup general, like lately I've been realizing that I like to use less product, because less product, if you know what you're doing and the technique that you use, it will go a long way. You do not have to use, you know, a lot of product. So I went ahead, I have one of these things here, or you can, you know, apply it on the back of your palm. So I went ahead and applied on one of this. This is it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this brush that I have. It's like a flat brush. Usually I use this to apply my shimmer shades on my lids. I'm gonna be using it to apply the product. So I am going to take this flat brush, and then I'm going to apply it on the areas where I am going to conceal. And honestly, this is pretty much the same technique like if you was doing like a full glam look. Right here on my forehead. where the sun be shining. Not so much though on my chin, just a little bit. And yeah, here we are. So like I said, because like we're pretending like, you know, we're on a time crunch, we're rushing, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply my highlighted concealer as well. So to highlight, I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Vanish concealer, and I'm going in with the shade Teak, and this is the Hourglass concealer. And I'm gonna do the same thing, apply it on this here, I do not remember the name, and I'm gonna apply it just a bit right here. This is where I wanted to highlight. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and blend all of this out. So first we're gonna blend out the contour. So the brush that I'm gonna be using to blend out my contour is my Real Technique brush in the number 421, which looks like this. It is angled. As you can see, I love using this brush. And when we blend out our contour, I like to blend it upward, not down, because you're not trying to drag down your face. You're trying to, you know, snatch it up. So I like to blend it upward. So then after I blend out my contour, then I'm going to go ahead and blend out my concealers. And I'm going to go in with my Morphe number M132 brush, which looks like this. So I did forget to mention that I do want to do, or like to do, my cream or liquid blush first before I blend out my concealer. And this is something that's pretty new for me, because once you apply that cream or liquid blush, especially if you have blush blindness, after you do that, when you go ahead and blend out the concealer, it does, you know, take it away or help you, you know, remove what you did not even want to be there. So we're gonna go ahead and put our cream blush. So the blush that we'll be using today is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Flush, and this is in the shade Dancing Queen, which looks like this. And then the brush that I'll be using is my EcoTools brush. And does it have a name? No, it doesn't, but this is how it looks. And I'm going to do my best not to be heavy-handed. So we're just going to pat it just a bit. And again, if I am heavy-handed, the concealer will help take that away. And I'm trying to move a little bit faster so I can blend out my concealer. But if it dried down a bit, I can just go ahead and spray my face. And once I do that, it'll loosen it up for me. Like, this blush is so beautiful. All right, so now I know we look crazy. We really do. We look crazy, but it'll all come together. So now it's foundation time. So we're gonna keep our Morphe M132 brush on standby, because when it's time to use our powders, we're gonna blend it in still, because right now we're gonna apply our foundation, and you know, certain areas are going to like start creasing just a little bit and stuff, so you just want to have your brush on standby. So for foundation, let me think. So the foundation that we'll be using today, I decided to go with my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Nimbia, which is one of my faves. This and the light reflecting, top tier. And then I'm going to be using my Real Techniques number 259 brush, which looks like this. It's clean, y'all, I promise it is, but when it comes to washing these brushes, it'd be so hard to take these stains out. But anyhow, so I'm gonna go ahead, shake my foundation, and I'm going to drop some here in its own little corner. Probably don't even need this much, but as you can see, I did like 3-4 pumps right here. And again, I probably don't even need all that. I'm pretty sure I don't. When it comes to this, I really don't be needing that much foundation, but we shall see today. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it, just dab it. That's why that stained me right there. There you go. And you see we still have a bunch left over. You notice that in these areas don't have any products, right? So that's where I'm going to apply my foundation, and I'm gonna apply some slight where my blush is as well, just to make everything come together. We are going to do it lightly, like some light strokes. There's no right or wrong way to apply your foundation in my opinion, but I just do not like dab it or anything like that. I just like to go like this, because you have more control doing it in this way. And then dabbing it like that, no. You want that flawless makeup look, you know, you just blend it, or not even drag it either. It's all about the flick of the wrist, pretty much. As you can see, a flawless base. Like, it is gorgeous, like literally, and everything literally seamlessly peeks through. Like, I'm a fan of underpainting. Okay, so now, do I do it all the time? No, don't get me wrong, because I love me a full beat, honey. But like I said, I am a fan when I am rushing. So now moving on. So next is powder, but before we apply our powder, we're gonna do the normal, where we're gonna spray our face with our setting spray. And the setting spray I'll be using is my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which looks like this. And honestly, I like to do this, spray in between and spray at the end, and mattifying spray sometimes, just to make sure that my makeup is secured. Can y'all tell I'm feeling myself? Girl, this? Wow. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and set and do our normal stuff like we usually do. All right, so first I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder, setting press powder, and the number 3, which looks like this. And then after I do that, then I'm gonna go in with my loose setting powder, which is my One Size loose setting powder in the shade Dark Deep, which looks like this. Like this. And so to press in my press powder, I'm gonna go in with my triangular puff. that I got from Amazon, and also to go ahead and put in my loose setting powder. I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques. This is not Real Technique, but this is like the Real Technique number 412. I think it's 421 or 412 brush. If you know, you know what brush I'm talking about. I'm gonna make sure I get the correct number and I'll put it here for you, babes. And then I'll go in and apply my loose setting powder like so. Yeah. That's the way. Usually I would take my powder puff and just press it on and stuff, but today, today I'm just going to press it in with the brush. All right, so we're almost done. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our finishing powder, which we'll be using Sephora Micro Smooth finishing powder in the shade 75 Hazelnut, which looks like this. And I'll be using my Sephora number 50 Pro Powdered Brush, which looks like this. If you don't have this, go ahead and get you one ASAP. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the powder, pat the excess, and just pat it on all over. All right, so now we're gonna complete our under eyes. We're gonna add our lashes before we do our contour and our blush and our lips, which is gonna be the last thing. So for my liner for my waterline, I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Perversion, which is pretty much a black. For my mascara, for my bottom lashes, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty mascara, hella thick mascara. And this is in the shade Cause I'm Black. And then for my under eyes, I'm just gonna go in with Jamada and just, you know, make this eyes pop. All right, so now that we got our lashes on and our eyes, this is the lashes that I have that I got from Amazon. It is the new Cali lashes, and this is in Wispy, and it comes in this pack right here. So now we're gonna go ahead and bronze, and the bronzer that I'll be using today is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer in the number 4, which looks like this. And I'll be using my Milk Makeup brush, which looks like this. Sometimes I use it for my blush and sometimes I use it for my bronzer. So today I'll be using it for the bronzer. And now we're moving on to blush. So the blush that we'll be using today is my Beauties blush, and this is in the shade Cashmere Rose. Let me show you how it looks like. This is how it looks, and this is the blush. I love how it looks on the skin. If you don't want nothing extra, this blush is the one. I'm going to be using the same brush that I used for my cream blush, and that is the Eco Tools brush, which looks like this, and I'm just gonna flip it to the other side. And it's okay if there's like excess cream blush on there. It just adds some oomph to it. I honestly want to keep going, but I'm not. I'm just going to stop right here. And then if you have too much blush and you don't like what you're seeing, just go back in with your Charlotte Tilbury to diffuse all of that extra blush that you may not want to be. Or if you just want to add some more highlight, just go back in with this pressed powder. We have magic. One thing that I did forget to do is bronze my nose. And last but not least, before we move on to lips, we're gonna go ahead and set our face with our Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which looks like this. Don't forget to test the spray and this spray. All right, and last but not least, lips. So we're gonna set our lips with the same brush that we use to apply our finishing powder. And setting the lips makes your lip combo look amazing. So the lip liner that I'll be using today is my, let's see, my Maybelline Lifter Liner, and this is in the shade Cross the Line, which is like this. It's almost done, but I have me a new one. So we're gonna line our lips with this lip pencil. With this part, you can honestly pop your lip to blend out any harsh line, or you can take a brush and just blend it all in, but I just like to pop my lip. And the lipstick we'll be using today is Milani's Fetish lipstick, and this is in the shade Peony. This is the lipstick here, and this is how it looks. It's like a nude, pinkish nude. You can honestly leave it like this if you want, but of course I want to do me a gloss look. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with, let's see what I want. Just to brighten it up just a bit, I'm gonna go in with my ABH lip gloss, and this is in the shade Guava. I know it's looking crazy right now, but one more lip gloss. And now I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb, and this is in the shade Hot Chocolate. And I'm going to outline my lips with this on the areas where I use my liner, just to give it some more pop and blend in with this Guava lip gloss. All right, beauties, so this is the finishing look. What do you babes think? As you can see, like this looks like a normal beat face that I would usually do, but this was like literally half the time that I would use to even do a full face like this, and that was all by underpainting. And honestly, like I mentioned before, as much as I love underpainting, I use underpainting and I love underpainting for when I'm literally rushing, okay? Literally rushing and want to cut the time, you know, in half. But if I want to sit down and do my face for like 2 hours, trust and believe I'm gonna do it. Especially when it comes to my eyes. Literally the eyes is what be taking me forever. So I know that, like, if I just, you know, want to be in my Zoom and, you know, do like a full beat, I'm gonna do the regular way that I usually do it. But if I'm just like really trying to rush and get out the door and want to still look like I did a full beat, I'm gonna do underpainting. So it's honestly about preferences and what you like and what you want to accomplish and how you want to accomplish it. So let me know down in the comments below if you're new to underpainting, if you've done underpainting before and how you like it. And if you don't, also let me know if you've learned anything from today's video. So the next video, I have a bunch of products that I did purchase from the Sephora sale, which I thought I wasn't gonna do, but I did. It's not that much. It's a few products that I did purchase from the Sephora sale that I would love to try for you babes to see if you would want to purchase it and stuff. So I think that's going to be my next video. We'll see. We'll see. So babes, that's the end of today's video. Let me know down in the comments below of anything you would love to see from me next. What did you enjoy about today's video? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because babes, I would love for you to be in this community. As always, I love you beauties, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.